Some say they have unlimited PTO, but pressure you to never miss work or reward those who don't. True unlimited PTO allows you to take mental health days, leave early if needed, encourage staff to take actual vacations. Biggest problem with unlimited time off when staff don't take time off. There should be encouragement to take time to prevent burnout. You may have heard of Madeline Pendleton, a business owner who truly does have unlimited PTO. She says, our company culture is one that rewards and focus more on getting the work done than putting in the hours. Idea is that with enough rest, that can truly focus on productivity at the work. As long as the responsibilities are taken care of, there is time for rest. Staff work as a community to support each other when out, and there are enough staff to cover absences. There are many ways unlimited overtime can fail staff if it isn't properly put into place with the supports to be successful. An unspoken rule of not missing too much work is one of them. From good practice, you will see leadership model and advocate for time off whenever needed. Good practice also makes it the employer's responsibility that responsibilities are taken care of when the employees reasonably is unable to. People are not rushed to return under this pressure. There are enough staff to cover each other. There is a natural sense to show up when internal capacity is there and naturally ends up having more capacity because of the supports. True PTO has support systems in place to support everyone. Whether someone needs to have 3 months off or six, there is capacity support. People are cross-trained to help with each other. The burden becomes less when you plan for always having a certain percentage of staff out. There is no bitterness in supporting others because you know you'll be supported as well. If companies put the culture in place and the supports in place, then unlimited PTO will always be limited by these unspoken rules of not missing work. And then they consider a different PTO package that's a little bit more generous. I've had someone ask me if there is any unlimited PTO policy that will allow for an employee to say, hey, I'm going to be out on PTO for the next 5 years, and then you actually get the time paid. Let's back up for a second. We start thinking this way. We're leaning in the territory, assuming there will be people try to find the loopholes. Generally, employees don't end up taking full advantage of unlimited PTO. There's also a difference between time off and long-term leave absence. There are many states that have regulations of how such long-term absences are tracked. There could also be a definition of what an active employee is. Can you fulfill your personal goals that are reasonably able to achieve in a year, regardless of how much you take off? Then you can take it off. PTO is not limited to continued time off, but it could be getting off early every day, being able to flex the time as the job complete. Truly unlimited PTO will still need to follow FMLA and short-term disability regulations. In practice, people are less likely to take multiple weeks in a row. There are people who actually want to work, believe it or not. Once you cross into the really long-term absences, there may be different policies that come in place, like sabbaticals, with a mutual understanding of the sabbatical. The question comes down to how a company defines time off versus long-term absences. So what defines an active employee? Is it that time off is strictly vacation or sick time? Or you can take months on end and take more time off? Requests can be unlimited with expectation of hitting quarterly or yearly goals, depending on the role. Can requests be reasonably denied for certain reasons? A good view is, while employees can take off as much time throughout these necessary, shouldn't come as a sacrifice to their work and contributions to the company. It is tricky to write a truly unlimited P policy, but it can be put into place. I recommend that everything needed is defined, so there are not any unspoken rules, but proper guidance. Performance can still be a requirement of a job, so defining what that looks like is important. If you go into an interview and you find out this company has unlimited PTO, it'd be a really great follow-up question. Ask them to explain the fine print of your unlimited PTO policy, what an active employee is, and what you are required to fulfill your job. Remember, unlimited PTO policy is just one policy. There's going to be other policies that guide your employment, like your performance, that you will still have to consider. Working for a place with unlimited PTO is not your loophole to be paid for unlimited time off for the end of time. They want you to actually work too. So when you come in this kind of workplace, know what you are agreeing on. What is your job responsibility and how can you fulfill it? This is supposed to be a mutual agreement between both of you.